Welcome, let's start with the basics. Adobe After Effects is the industry standard software for motion graphics, visual effects, and 2.5D animation. It's used to animate titles, composite green screen footage, create character rigs, and build digital visual effects for film, TV, and web. Think of it as the creative engine behind dynamic visuals you see everywhere, from YouTube intros to blockbuster movies. If you want to bring graphics to life, After Effects is your go-to tool. In this guide, we'll break down everything you need to know step by step. After Effects shines in creating motion graphics and visual effects. Whether you're animating a logo, adding explosions, or making text fly across the screen, this software handles it all. You'll find it used for animated titles, kinetic topography, glowing transitions, and even advanced effects like fire or smoke. It's also essential for compositing, combining multiple elements into a seamless scene. If you've ever wondered how YouTubers add animated overlays or how movies create magical worlds, After Effects is the answer. It's important to know the difference between After Effects and Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is for editing video, cutting, trimming, and arranging clips. After Effects, on the other hand, is for creating and animating elements inside your video. For example, you might edit a gaming video in Premiere Pro, but you'd use After Effects to add animated kill counters, glowing text, or special effects. They work hand in hand, but After Effects is where the magic happens. Let's break down the core workflow in After Effects. The process follows a simple formula: import, compose, layer, animate, effect, preview, and export. You start by bringing in your assets, video, images, audio, graphics. Then you create a composition which acts as your canvas and timeline. Next, you add layers, animate properties like position or scale, apply effects, preview your work, and finally export the finished video. This workflow keeps your projects organized and efficient. Every project starts with importing assets. In After Effects, you can bring in video clips, audio files, vector illustrations from Illustrator, and layered Photoshop files. These assets appear in your project panel ready to be used. For example, you might import a gaming clip, a logo image, and a music track. Keeping your assets organized from the start makes the rest of your workflow much smoother. Composition is your creative workspace in After Effects. It's where you set the resolution, frame rate, and duration for your animation. Think of it as your video scene, a blank canvas with a timeline. For example, you might set up a 1920x1080 composition at 30 frames per second for 10 seconds. Every element you add will live inside this comp, making it the foundation of your project. Layers are the building blocks of every After Effects project. You can add text, video, images, audio, and solid backgrounds as separate layers. Each layer sits on the timeline, and you can stack, rearrange, or animate them independently. For example, your timeline might include a text layer for a title, a video layer for gameplay, an image layer for a logo, and an audio layer for music. Mastering layers is key to creating complex animation. Almost everything in After Effects can be animated. You can animate position, scale, rotation, opacity, effects, masks, text, cameras, and lights. Animation is driven by keyframes, markers that define property values at specific times. For example, you might animate text moving from left to right by setting keyframes for its position. This flexibility is what makes After Effects so powerful for motion design. Keyframes are the heart of animation in After Effects. They mark the start and end points of any animated property. For example, if your text starts at position x equals 500 at 0 seconds and moves to x equals 1200 at 2 seconds, After Effects automatically animates the movement between those points. This concept applies to any property: scale, rotation, opacity, and more. Mastering keyframes unlocks endless creative possibility. Selection tool is your primary tool in After Effects. Use it to select, move, and transform layers or objects on your canvas. For example, you can select a text layer and drag it to a new position or resize a graphic. This tool is essential for everyday tasks and is activated by pressing the V key. You'll use it constantly as you build and adjust your compositions. Hand tool lets you pan around your composition viewer without moving any layers. It's especially useful when you're zoomed in and need to navigate to a specific area. Just hold the spacebar to temporarily activate the hand tool and drag the view. This makes it easy to focus on details without accidentally shifting your artwork. The zoom tool helps you get up close to your work or zoom out for a broader view. Use it to check edge precision during tasks like rotoscoping or to focus on fine details. Press Z to activate the tool, then click to zoom in or out. This is especially handy for cleaning up masks or making pixel-perfect adjustments. Rotation tool allows you to rotate layers around their anchor points. For example, you can spin a logo from 0 degrees to 360 degrees, animate wheels, or create UI spinners. Just press W to activate the tool, select your layer, and drag to rotate. This tool is perfect for adding dynamic movement to graphics and objects. Anchor point tool is crucial for animation. The anchor point determines where an object rotates or scales from. For example, a wheel rotates naturally if the anchor is in the center, but rotates around the edge if you move the anchor. Press Y to activate the tool and adjust the anchor point for precise control over your animations. Pan behind anchor point tool lets you move a layer's anchor point without shifting its position on the canvas. This is especially useful for animating objects that rotate around hinges like doors or arms. By adjusting the anchor point, you can create more natural and realistic movement in your animations. Shape tools let you draw geometric shapes like rectangles, ellipses, polygons, and stars. These are essential for creating UI elements, buttons, backgrounds, and decorative graphics. For example, you can quickly create a YouTube subscribe button or glowing HUD elements for a game overlay. Press Q to cycle through the different shape tools. Pen tool is one of the most powerful tools in After Effects. It allows you to draw custom vector shapes, masks, and curves. Use it for rotoscoping, cutting objects out, or creating unique paths for animation. For example, you can mask out a person from a video or design a custom motion path for a graphic. Mastering the pen tool opens up endless creative possibilities. After Effects offers tools to add, delete, or convert vertices on shape paths. The Add Vertex tool lets you insert new points, while the Delete Vertex tool removes them. The Convert Vertex tool changes points between straight and curved. These tools are essential for refining shapes, simplifying paths, and creating smooth curves for advanced animations. Type tool lets you create and animate text layers. You can add horizontal or vertical text, animate properties like position, scale, rotation, and opacity, and use text selectors for advanced effects. For example, you might animate a title popping onto the screen or credits scrolling upward. Text animation is a core skill for motion graphics. After Effects includes painting tools like the brush, clone stamp, and eraser. Use the brush tool for hand-drawn effects or paint animation. The clone stamp copies pixels from one area to another, perfect for removing unwanted objects. The eraser tool lets you erase painted areas. These tools are great for stylized effects and frame-by-frame animation. Roto Brush tool is a game changer for isolating subjects from backgrounds. It uses AI to help you separate a person or object from the rest of the footage, making it easy to replace backgrounds or create advanced composites. This tool saves hours compared to manual masking and is essential for VFX work. Puppet Pin tool lets you add mesh deformation points to images or characters, making them bend and move naturally. Place pins on a character's joints like arms or legs and animate them for lifelike motion. This tool is perfect for cartoon animation, flexible objects, and simple character rigs. After Effects supports 3D layers and camera tools. You can create 3D scenes, navigate with the unified camera tool, and animate camera movement for cinematic effects. For example, you might fly a camera through layers of text or create parallax effects for depth. Adding lights and shadows brings your 3D scenes to life. The Track Camera tool analyzes camera movement in live footage and creates a 3D camera solution. This allows you to insert 3D text or objects that appear locked to the environment, matching the original camera's motion. It's a powerful tool for integrating graphics seamlessly into real-world scenes. Masks control which parts of a layer are visible. Draw a mask around a person to isolate them, or use masks for creative transitions, reveals, and color correction. Masks are essential for compositing and VFX, allowing you to blend elements seamlessly or highlight specific areas of your scene. Effects and Presets panel is where you'll find a huge library of effects: blur, glow, color correction, distortion, and more. Apply effects to layers for stylization, transitions, or to enhance realism. For example, use Gaussian blur to soften edges, glow for light effects, or curves for color grading. Save your favorite effect stacks as presets for quick reuse. Let's walk through a simple project: a gaming headshot animation. Create a new composition 1920x1080 30 fps 5 seconds, import your gameplay, add a text layer with headshot, and animate its scale from 0% to 120% to 100% for a pop effect. Apply easy ease to the keyframes, add glow and motion blur, and finish with an impact sound. You've just built your first animated title. Memorize these 5 essential properties: anchor point A, position P, scale S, rotation and opacity T. Use their shortcuts to reveal and animate them quickly. For example, pressing P shows position and S shows scale. This speeds up your workflow and makes animation much more efficient. After Effects is packed with shortcuts to speed up navigation. Press spacebar for the hand tool, Shift plus to fit the comp to screen, home or end to jump to the timeline start or end, and page up down to move frame by frame. Maximize any panel with tilde, and center a layer's anchor point with Ctrl plus Alt plus Shift plus H. Mastering these shortcuts saves you tons of time. Efficient layer management is key. Use single-letter shortcuts to reveal properties: P, S, R, T, A, Shift to show multiple, U to reveal all animated properties, and UU for all modified ones. Move layers with or, trim with Alt plus or, split with Ctrl plus Shift plus D, and duplicate with Ctrl plus D. Assign label colors for organization and lock background layers to prevent accidental changes. Keyframing is all about timing and smoothness. Use F9 for easy ease, Shift plus F9 for ease in, and Ctrl Shift plus F9 for ease out. The graph editor Shift plus F3 lets you fine-tune speed curves for organic motion. Use expressions for advanced animation and parent layers for hierarchical movement. Motion blur adds realism to fast-moving elements. Masks and vector shapes are essential for custom reveals and effects. Double-click shape tools to mask to comp boundaries, hold Shift for perfect circles or squares, and use the Mask Feather tool for soft edges. Animate mask expansion for creative transitions, and convert Illustrator artwork to shapes for full control. Recomposing groups layers into a nested comp for better organization. Use Ctrl Shift plus C to precompose and create adjustment layers, Ctrl plus Alt plus Y for global effects. Copy and paste effects between layers and use the FX Console plugin for quick effect searches. Save effect stacks as presets for future projects. Text animation is a core part of motion graphics. Use text animators for tracking, position, and opacity. Enable per character 3D for advanced effects and animate range selectors for sequential reveals. Link text to dynamic data for templates and add wiggly selectors for glitchy styles. align and format text for consistency. Preview your work efficiently with RAM Preview Numpad 0 or Spacebar. Set preview resolution to half or quarter for heavy comps, use the solo icon to isolate layers and mute audio as needed. Set work area boundaries for loop previews and flush cache if you experience slowdowns. Disable heavy features during layout and enable them before export for faster workflow. Enable 3D on layers to add depth to your scenes. Use the unified camera tool C to orbit, pan, and track in 3D space. Create cameras with standard lens presets, parent them to null objects for complex moves, and monitor positions with multiple views. Add lights and enable shadows for realism, and use draft 3D mode for faster previews. Expressions automate animation and add advanced control. Use wiggle for random motion, loop out for repeating animations, and value at time for delays. Link properties with the pick whip, add slider controls for centralized adjustments, and use index math for dynamic stacking. Expressions save time and unlock complex effects. Export your final sequence using the render queue Ctrl+M or Adobe Media Encoder Ctrl+Alt+M. Choose master codecs like ProRes for quality and export with RGB plus alpha for transparency. Enable multiframe rendering for speed, save output templates, and clean up unused assets before archiving. Efficient exporting ensures your work looks great everywhere. Start with the basics, learn the main shortcuts V, P, S, R, T, A, save your project often, and organize assets in folders. Name layers clearly, use compositions for scenes, and precompose complex elements. Set frame rate and resolution before animating, and save multiple versions of important projects for safety. Use U to reveal animated properties, UU for all modified ones, and IO to jump to layer and out points. Duplicate layers with Ctrl+D, split with Ctrl+Shift+D, and trim instead of cutting footage. Keep layers in logical order and animate with purpose, don't add keyframes just for the sake of it. The graph editor lets you fine-tune animation curves for natural movement. Learn the speed and value graphs, use slow and slow out for polish, and adjust curves for energetic or elegant motion. Study real-world movement to improve your animation timing and make your work feel more lifelike. Animate text with position, opacity, tracking, and scale. Use masks for reveals, keep text readable, and avoid too many fonts. Create reusable title animations and save presets for future use. Well-animated text grabs attention and adds professionalism to your projects. Master mask path, feather, and expansion for advanced masking. Animate mask paths, feather edges for compositing, and combine masks with effects. Use alpha and luma mats, blending modes, and adjustment layers for global changes. Organized compositing keeps your scenes clean and flexible. Preview at reduced resolution, disable heavy effects while animating, and use region of interest for faster previews. Keep unnecessary layers disabled, pre-render complex sections, and maintain a healthy cache. Use proxies for heavy footage and save frequently to avoid losing work. Don't try to memorize everything at once. Start with the basics, interface compositions, layers, and keyframes. Move on to animation techniques, VFX tools, 3D, and expressions as you progress. Build projects like text pop animations, gaming titles, logo reveals, and track 3D text. Practice daily, study professional work, and you'll master After Effects step by step.